Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. A shout out to drone enthusiasts everywhere, and as always, a shout out to all of my friends at the Drone Seekers. Hey, the good old little Mini here, the little drone that everybody is so enamored with nowadays, including myself. Hey, I'm going to try a little experiment today. The other day when I had this bird out, I was out at Settlers Park here in Meridian. Now I'm back at Heroes Park. I did an orbit, so I had the thing quite a ways away from me, and I was trying to orbit around a tree. And what happened is the drone, I set the tree, what I thought was it's the center, but instead it used it as a point of interest, and it did a circle and it came around right over the top of the tree, pointed the camera down at the tree and back. So it did a circle, but it didn't use that tree as the center. So got some good feedback in the comments about that. I looked in the manual and there's nothing specific about that. So we're going to just experiment around a little bit and see if we can make that work. What I would like to do is be able to fly the drone. So step back for just a second. Often when you're doing a circle, it's kind of a selfie and you're doing it around yourself. In other words, you're the point of interest, you're standing there, you draw the little circle and it does a circle around you. I did that the other day when I was standing by the flagpole and it did that perfectly. But when I did that tree, the drone was way away from me and it didn't circle it. So one of the commenters said, hey, you know, there's that 40-meter limit on most of the other intelligent flight modes, so maybe that's the situation with this. You cannot be more than 40 meters out from whatever it is you're trying to circle. So anyway, we're going to give that a try. We're going to try just some different modes of that circle mode and maybe some of the other intelligent flight modes, but I just want to mess around with that and see if we can fully understand it. So let me get this thing in the air and we'll go from there. Hey, okay guys, I'm going to try something that I saw Billy Kyle do on one of his videos. So kudos to you, Billy. So I don't know if I'm doing it right, but what I saw him do was take the left stick and push it towards the right and hand launch the aircraft. Now, I don't know if he hit takeoff first, I couldn't see that. But I'm going to try it here and see if it works. So I'm going to just push the left stick to the right and see if that... Now that didn't do it. So let's do this. So I hit the takeoff button. And then let's try that. Billy, you're going to have to tell me what you did. So I'm going to do it this way. This is awkward. So I got to kind of hold the thing and hit the takeoff button. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to hold it on the screen. And there, that worked. So that was pretty easy. So I might have misunderstood what Billy was doing. Billy, you're going to have to tell me what that trick was. But what I thought I saw was I saw him hold the left stick to the right and it took off out of his hand. What I did was held it like this and I pushed the button on the screen in order to get the bird to take off. But I mean, look at how steady that thing is. That's just freaking phenomenal. I mean, we'll bring it back in here just a little. Let's do a full yaw around. And I did put my my FCC number on the bottom of it. But let's do what we usually do, and that is an up and away shot. So we're going to go backwards and up, basically just a manual droney. So reverse and up. So there's 39 meters. And I might be too small for it to catch me as the center, but we're going to try it. So we are going to stop recording. We're going to go into the quick shots here. And we're gonna pick circle. Oh, you can pick the meter. See, I didn't, oh no, that's for a droning. So as soon as I click circle, yeah, that disappears. So, but what we know is 40 meters was the maximum for everything else. So we got circle picked, and let's see if it will, if it will let me. Looks like it will. So we're gonna hit start. So that's pretty cool. We're a ways away. And it is indeed doing the orbit. I can't remember if I saw those arrows at the bottom. Well, look at that. So it lost me, and it picked that other that vehicle that's out there. That's interesting. Yeah. So now it picked something else. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We're gonna stop that. So clearly. We got it a little bit confused there. Yeah, boy, we confused the heck out of it there, didn't we? So I'm going to walk a little bit further out into the grass here, so that it can differentiate me maybe a little bit from what. Yeah, so I'm trying to draw it, and it's not really letting me do it. Let me walk a little bit further out. Oh, I'm 52 meters away. That's right. Yeah, we got to be. Remember, we were talking about being within 40 meters. So sorry about that. Let's come back in. There. So let me do that. So let's start it now.
3, 2,
and let's see
1.
if it can stay on me this time. It was interesting the way it changed targets. It picked 3 different targets that time. So this time it's holding me well, and I can see the bird above me. But it must have lost me because I was behind. It must be purely optical, because I was standing next to the pavilion there, and it lost me. So okay. That was good. So let's try something else then. I'm going to go over to my car out here that's out in the parking lot, and that is away from where I am with the controller. So I'm quite sure that is within 40 meters, and it is giving me a little plus sign there. So I did click on that. It gives it to me. Let's go ahead and hit start.
2, 1.
So what we're interested in seeing is if it does what it did the other day. Yeah, and it lost it. See, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know what it's doing. It just kind of did a little circle there, and it certainly didn't orbit the vehicle, that's for sure. So DJI, looks like you got some work here. Let's get a little closer, and let's try it again. Start. Let's go the other way and see if that makes a difference. So I set the arrow the other direction. Let's hit start.
3, 2, 1.
So I think we've kind of found some funny stuff with circle mode. The intelligent flight modes on this thing are not they're just not as robust as what we've seen on other DJI products. I mean, it works sort of, but you saw it lose the vehicle that last time. Yeah, so this time it was perfect. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Well, let's try something else. I am going to come backwards to me again. Okay, so what I want to try and do this time is see if it will follow me. It will circle me. Well, you know what? We probably want to be closer in. I'm going to walk out into the middle of the field here. So this is a whole different deal. So what we're going to do is see if it'll circle me while I'm walking. Yeah, so when I was looking at distance there earlier, I was getting confused with distance from the home point, so 62 meters. In any case, but that doesn't make any difference for what we're going to try here. So let me select myself, and I'm going to hit start.
3, 2, 1.
And it's starting its orbit. And let's see if it can stay locked onto me. And it is. So it's adjusting its orbit. Well, now it lost me. So we're going to stop it because it's kind of going nuts. I'm telling you guys, when it loses its target, it kind of goes wild. So be prepared for that. So I noticed there that I didn't have, let's get even closer yet because I kind of had a small square around me. Let me draw a bigger square and see if that works a little better. So we're a little closer now and it likes that. So hit the plus.
3,
and let's start.
2, 1.
And so there it goes. And let's see if it can stay with me this time. And I'm just walking at a normal pace, but I kind of want to change. Yeah, and you can see there, it stayed with me, but hey, okay guys, so with regard to the intelligent flight mode, so that was just circle mode, but as you can see, it struggled to hold the target as I was walking around. So you really can't move. It doesn't track well. And then even when I was trying to track something that was not where I was standing, it would lose the target really easily. So these intelligent flight modes are somewhat limited on this bird. I guess that's what we can say. All I'm saying is be careful. You saw that when it lost the target, hey, the drone it didn't just go into a hover, which I would hope it would do. When it loses the target, you would hope that the drone would just, boom, go into a hover. You saw it pick different targets. You saw it like just this last one, once it lost me, it kept going, and I don't know where it was going, but it wasn't circling me anymore. So pay attention in these intelligent flight modes. That's what I'm going to tell you. I welcome any feedback that anybody might have. Shoot, we're down to we burned up quite a bit of battery there messing around. We're about 25% battery. Let's just, I think we should go backwards and up. What do you think? That's one of my favorite shots. The manual droney. Okay, so I'm not going to go out. There's a neighborhood over there. I'm not going to go over the top of that. But I think we discovered something today. I think we discovered some limitations that this drone has. As we fly it around the park here, as I'm walking back, no point in just sitting still. Ooh, aircraft power insufficient, and I was just on the throttle. I wasn't ascending. Yeah, that's kind of that was an interesting test. One of my
Battery
thoughts
level
was
is low. The aircraft will
to
go
get
to
into
the
my
home
car
point in 10 seconds.
Do a see
Go
if it would
home.
follow my moving car, but obviously if it can't follow me walking, it's not going to do that. So we're in RTH. I am going to, when it gets back here, I'm going to cancel that, and we are going to try a hand catch. I'm a little nervous about it. So my depth perception isn't as good as it could be. I kind of have a monocular vision, so depth perception isn't my strong suit. And yeah, we're back to the Canon camera. It's still recording. Let's drop the gimbal down so we can watch the bird come down. As soon as it gets down here a ways, we're going to we'll cancel that. Alrighty, we're going to cancel it. Okay, I'm going to back it up just a little. Bring the drone in here. So I'm going to move the camera and I'm going to get over the grass so that if I drop it or something, it'll just fall in the grass. So I want to make sure you guys can see me on the camera. So I'm going to turn it around. So I'm going to come from the side. I'm going to hold my right hand out and see if I can catch.
Landing.
Well, I don't think that was the most elegant. I've seen what some of the other guys have done a little better than what I just did just then, but it worked. So what I did is much like I do with the Hubsan Zeno, is I pinched it from the side and then I held the left stick down. So it worked. So we did a hand catch. So we did a hand launch and a hand catch. So let me shut it all down and we'll have a little discussion here about how well or not the drone performed. Hey, okay guys, the little Mavic Mini, this drone is just a lot of fun. I think what we discovered here today was some limitations with this guy for the intelligent flight modes, or QuickShots as they're called in the DJI app. Now the only one we messed around with was circle mode, but I think we could probably deduce that it would be the same, it's the same AI with the other QuickShots, so I think they would be similar. So what I wanted to know is how reliable you could do. What you're hoping to do is a point of interest orbit. It does it pretty good if you're standing there holding the controller and you're the center. Seems to do a pretty good job. We sent it out over the top of my car and we got one successful orbit, because what I wanted to do was see how it would do with a circle when it was away from where you were standing with the controller, if you could do that perfect circle around. So we had varying degrees of success. We got it to do it right one time. The other times, well, the one time in particular, that the first time I tried it, when we had it on me standing here next to this pavilion, it did not hold its center of the circle. As soon as I was blocked by the roof of the pavilion here, it looked for another target, and there was a car sitting there. So then it locked onto that car, and I thought, well, okay, we'll see what happens there. Well, then it didn't like that car, so it locked onto I don't know, I think it was a building or something at the other end of the basketball courts. So I stopped it because you know, I didn't know where it was going. And you know, we tried doing a circle, one of the circles around my car, and it messed that up too. It went over the top of it, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know what those algorithms there are trying to do. Then also, I wanted to try, as I was with movement, because I know some people have said that it will follow, while it doesn't have follow me mode per se, that when you were in those intelligent flight modes, it would follow its subject. Well, I tried that walking around out in the middle of the park out here, and it confused the heck out of it. And one time in particular there, it just took off, and I didn't know where it was going, so I canceled it really quick. I mean, the drone just kind of took off. So you know, clearly the AI was confused and didn't know what it was circling. I mean, I don't think we would have had a flyaway or anything like that. Don't misunderstand me. But on the other hand, you would risk your drone flying into something, right? So obviously you don't want to do that. So I'm just saying, limited. Those quick shots, there's limited functionality to them, and you know, you just have to stay within the parameters of what they are. Not a lot of moving around, and mostly with you in the center, and I think they'll be just fine. But clearly you can't try anything too fancy with them. But that's the whole point of this, is we're just looking for the limitations of this guy. It doesn't mean it's bad. In fact, it's great. I freaking love this little thing. This is a phenomenal piece of technology. But we're just trying to explore the limits of what it will and won't do. Oh, the other thing is, I tried that hand launch, and like I said, I was watching Billy's video, and evidently I didn't get that right, because it looked to me like he's holding the drone, and he just pushed that stick to the right, and it took off. I don't know. But what I ended up doing then is I just hit the takeoff button, and with this hand I kind of cradled the controller here in my arm, and then held my thumb down on that start button, and it took off right out of my hand. And then the landing, as everybody said, and I knew it too, you just got to hold that left stick down, and then it won't take off away from your hand. And I did it a little differently. I noticed a lot of people, they held their hand flat, and it would land flat in their excuse me, so you can see it, they would land flat in their hand. I didn't do that. I pinched it from the side, but kept holding my thumb down on the left stick, and it shut off the motor. So I think that works great, and it's such a light little drone. It's easy to catch, but like anything else, you know, be careful, stay away from the props. It's probably better to have it above you a little bit so that you're reaching up to grab it. And like I said, just remember to hold that left stick down, and you can grab it. So one of my limitations is that my left eye doesn't work well with my right eye, so I kind of have a monocular vision, so my depth perception can be limiting. So when I'm reaching up for the drone, I got to be very careful that I have my hand in the right spot. So that's why I'm a little bit reticent. You know, I see a lot of guys hand catching like the FIMI X8 and stuff. Let me tell you, that's a powerful drone, and I'd hate to see what would happen if one of those blades hit your finger, and I don't want to find out either. So I avoid trying to hand catch some of those. You know, the Xeno, on the other hand, that one is so easy. For one thing, it doesn't have any downward facing sensors, and it has that big battery hanging below. It's really easy to grab a hold of. But I think with a little bit of practice, I think I'll be okay hand catching this guy too, which I think is kind of good to be able to hand launch and hand catch it, because this thing is as portable as it is. It's going to be a drone that you're going to be taking out in the woods with you, and in places where it may not be convenient. You're not going to have flat concrete like I have right here that you can take off or land from. So you're going to want to be able to hand launch and hand catch it. Anyway. That's about the size of it. Love this little guy. It's a great little product, and I'm really having a lot of fun with it. I guess that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out, and if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel, and I really appreciate you taking the time to look at this video, and we will see you on the next one. Little DJI Mavic Mini. I'm telling you, so much fun packed into this little guy. See ya.